Hi guys, I'm Sam, and today I'm going to show you how I built a t-shirt gun. So, first a disclaimer that if you want to build this, you should make it at your own risk. So for the parts in this build, I will just for simplicity's sake show them right now, and you can pause the video to see all of them. But basically it's just some pressure-rated PVC piping, a sprinkler valve, and a CO2 tank. So, first I want to explain that I initially built this out of ABS piping, but had to replace it with PVC because I wanted to ensure the structural integrity of the chamber under load. Which crudely means that I didn't want it to accidentally build a pipe bomb that would go off if I made the pressure too high. So I filmed the build process with ABS, but it's the exact same with high pressure rated PVC, except it's much safer. So how this works is a tank holding some kind of air at a very high pressure is connected to a mini tank made out of PVC, which intakes some of the air at a much lower pressure. This mini tank is sealed off at one end, and at the other end it is connected to a sprinkler valve. And when the sprinkler valve is open via an electrical pulse, the air in the mini tank escapes out and is directed towards the chamber which holds the t-shirt gun. That air then propels out the t-shirt as it attempts to escape the lower pressurized area. So now that you know how it works, let's talk about how to build it. So the first step is creating the mini tank as I have named it. So in order to do this, you will want to cut a 3-inch diameter pipe 16 inches wide. After this, you will need to glue a cap on the back and a pipe that converts it down to 3/4 inch on the other side. So now you will need to cut a 2.5 inch pipe to whatever width you want because the size will determine how straight the t-shirt flies, but I ended up cutting mine down to 7 inches, so it was just big enough to fit the entirety of the rolled up t-shirt. Now, if you live anywhere that is not near a big city, I truly feel bad for you and give you the best of luck in finding 2.5 inch pipes, but I live near LA, so it wasn't too hard to find. So, getting back on track, you will need to glue that pipe to a pipe that converts it down to 3/4 inch. After this, you should connect your sprinkler valve to both PVC pipings using 3/4 inch threaded pieces on both sides. The second part is connecting the tank to the mini tank. So, first off, you should get a paintball gun pipe that connects to a CO2 cartridge. You can use the paintball gun CO2 cartridge as the main tank, but you only get a few shots off, so I decided to go with a dedicated tank to act as the main tank. So, getting back into it, the paintball gun pipe should be connected to a butterfly valve, which will allow you to control the amount of air that goes into the mini tank. This butterfly valve should then be followed up by a pressure gauge so you're able to see how much pressure is in the mini tank. After this, you should connect that gauge to a right angle piece, which you should then drill a hole in the mini tank and screw that piece onto the mini tank. These are the only necessary pieces, but I needed to get pieces that allowed all of these pieces to fit together, which is why it is much larger and looks much more complicated than it should look. So after this, you'll want to connect the sprinkler valve to a 9-volt power source or higher and connect a button in between so when the button is pressed, the valve opens. To make this look legit, I took a paintball gun trigger and drilled a hole below it for the button to sit. So after this, you are completely done and ready to go. Overall, I think that this build turned out extremely well, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like if you liked it, comment, and at last, subscribe.